What if the signs were always there, but you refused to see them? What if deep down you sensed something was off, yet you dismissed it in the name of love, comfort, or blind hope? In the pursuit of love, we often deceive ourselves. We ignore the whispers of doubt, choosing instead to hear only what we want to believe. But as the Stoics taught, truth is indifferent to our desires. It does not bend to convenience, it simply is. Loyalty is not just a matter of faithfulness, it's a reflection of character. A woman's actions, not just her words, reveal the depth of her commitment. And yet, many signs of disloyalty go unnoticed, not because they are hidden, but because we refuse to look. Marcus Aurelius once said, "If someone is able to show me that what I think or do is not right, I will happily change, for I seek the truth." Today we strip away illusions. We expose the subtle but undeniable signs that she may not be as loyal as you think, not to foster paranoia, but to cultivate wisdom. Because the Stoic does not fear the truth. He embraces it. Are you ready? So let's get started. 1. Lacks integrity. Loyalty isn't tested in grand gestures. It's revealed in the smallest of moments. The Stoics understood that character is not shaped by occasional actions, but by consistent habits. If she dismisses honesty in minor things, what does that say about her commitment to truth in the moments that truly matter? Imagine this, you're at dinner, and she tells the waiter she's 25 to get a free birthday dessert, except she's actually 27. It's harmless, right? Just a little white lie. Let's pause for a moment. Why does she feel comfortable being dishonest over something so trivial? If deception is an easy choice when the stakes are low, what happens when the stakes are high? Seneca warned us, "He who does not forbid sin when he can commands it." In other words, tolerating small betrayals is an invitation for greater ones. A person who rationalizes dishonesty in everyday life, be it lying about plans, hiding messages, or twisting the truth, has already shown you where their values lie. A Stoic does not judge people by their words, but by the consistency of their actions. If she can break small promises, she can break bigger ones. If she dismisses minor deceptions, she's already proven that truth is negotiable. And loyalty at its core is simply truth in action. Now, does this mean you should become hyper-paranoid, scrutinizing every small detail? No. That would be the opposite of Stoic wisdom. Instead, observe without attachment. Recognize patterns. See people not as you wish them to be, but as they truly are. Marcus Aurelius reminds us, if someone is mistaken, instruct them kindly. But if they refuse to listen, walk away. A woman who values integrity will correct herself, but one who repeatedly justifies her dishonesty, no matter how small, is revealing her nature. And nature does not change overnight. But deception is not always direct. Sometimes it lurks in the shadows, hidden behind half-truths, secrecy and avoidance. If she keeps secrets and avoids transparency, what else is she hiding? That's what we'll uncover next. 2. Avoids transparency. What is hidden eventually comes to light. The Stoics believed that truth is indifferent to our desires. It exists whether we choose to acknowledge it or not. And when it comes to loyalty, secrecy is the breeding ground for deception. Think about it. Why would someone in a committed relationship feel the need to conceal parts of their life? Why would they withhold details, dodge questions, or become defensive when asked simple things? The answer is rarely innocent. Epictetus taught us, the soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts. If someone constantly guards their phone, changes passwords frequently, or gives vague explanations about their whereabouts, it's not just about privacy, it's about intention. A person with nothing to hide hides nothing. This isn't about demanding full access to every detail of her life. That would contradict Stoic self-sufficiency. It's about recognizing when secrecy is a pattern, not an exception. A Stoic does not waste time chasing shadows. He simply observes and understands. Where there is secrecy, there is divided loyalty. Consider a historical example. Julius Caesar's wife Pompeia was accused of impropriety during a sacred festival. Though no concrete evidence of betrayal was found, Caesar famously divorced her, saying, "Caesar's wife must be above suspicion." The Stoic takeaway? Trust is either whole or it is broken. There is no middle ground. If suspicion repeatedly arises, it does so for a reason. A loyal woman seeks clarity, not confusion. She has no issue explaining her actions, sharing her thoughts, and reinforcing trust. But if she keeps secrets, makes excuses, or reacts with hostility when asked reasonable questions, then she is prioritizing her secrecy over the stability of the relationship. And that, my friend, is a choice. But secrecy isn't the only red flag. Sometimes, the real deception isn't in what she hides. It's in the contradiction between what she says and what she does. Because words mean nothing without action, and that's what we'll uncover next. 3. Inconsistent actions. Words are easy, promises are effortless. But actions? Actions demand truth. And in the eyes of a Stoic, it is not what a person says, but what they do, that reveals who they are. How many times have you heard, "I love you, I care about you, I would never do anything to hurt you," only to see behavior that contradicts those very words? She says she values honesty, yet she hides things from you. She claims to respect you, yet she dismisses your concerns. She assures you that you're a priority, yet she consistently treats you like an option. Marcus Aurelius reminds us, "Waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be one." The same applies here. Waste no time arguing about what loyalty should be. Observe it. A woman who is loyal doesn't need to convince you with words. Her actions speak for themselves. If she's consistently unreliable, makes promises she never keeps, or shifts blame when confronted, she has already shown you where you stand. A Stoic does not fall for beautiful words wrapped around hollow actions. Consider the tale of the Spartan warrior and the Athenian politician. The politician gives grand speeches about honor and duty, yet when war comes, he flees. Meanwhile, the Spartan says little but stands firm on the battlefield. Who is truly honorable? The one whose actions align with his words. The same applies to relationships. Loyalty is not a speech, it is a behavior. A person's true nature is revealed, not in their declarations but in their consistency. So ask yourself, is she reliable when it matters? Does her presence match her promises? Or does she speak of loyalty while practicing indifference? A Stoic does not hold on to illusions. If her actions and words do not match, believe the actions. Not because you are cynical, but because you are wise. But inconsistency in words and actions is just one layer. Sometimes, the problem isn't just broken promises. It's where she seeks validation. Because if she constantly craves attention from other men, where does her loyalty truly lie? That's what we'll uncover next. 4. Seeks external validation. A woman who is truly loyal does not need the attention of many, because the attention of one is enough. But when she constantly seeks validation from other men, she reveals something deeper, a lack of inner stability. And a person who is unstable in themselves can never be stable in commitment. The Stoics taught that true strength comes from within, not from the opinions of others. Epictetus warned, if you want to improve, be content to be thought foolish and stupid. Why? Because the wise do not chase external approval. They know that real value is not found in fleeting validation but in solid character. So ask yourself, does she thrive on the attention of other men? Does she dress, post, or act in ways designed to invite their approval? Does she dismiss your concerns, calling them insecurity, while continuing the behavior? These are not just harmless tendencies, they are signals. A Stoic does not ignore signals. Consider the ship without an anchor. It drifts wherever the tide takes it, never staying in one place. A woman who is dependent on outside validation is like that ship. She is not truly committed to one harbor because she is always scanning the horizon for a better destination. A loyal woman does not need the gaze of strangers to feel worthy. She does not test boundaries with flirtation or attention-seeking behaviors. Instead, she is secure in herself and in the value of the relationship she has chosen. She does not need to prove her desirability to the world because she already knows her worth. Marcus Aurelius reminds us, the approval of those who do not even approve of themselves is worthless. So why should you tolerate a woman who chases the validation of those who mean nothing? The Stoic man does not seek to control others. He simply sees them as they are and acts accordingly. If she craves attention elsewhere, she has already divided her loyalty. And divided loyalty is no loyalty at all. But attention-seeking is just the beginning. A deeper problem arises when she starts to detach, not just from you, but from the relationship itself. Because when emotional distance sets in, it's often the first sign that she has already left in spirit before she leaves in body. And that's what we'll uncover next. 5. Emotionally detached. A person doesn't leave all at once. They leave in pieces, first in their mind, then in their emotions, and finally in their actions. By the time someone physically walks away, they have already been gone for a long time, and the wise man sees the departure before it happens. Stoicism teaches us to recognize reality as it is, not as we wish it to be. Marcus Aurelius advised, "Look things in the face and know them for what they are." So when a woman becomes emotionally distant, do not be deceived by words of reassurance. Observe the truth in her actions. Does she seem uninterested in your thoughts, your day, or your life? Does she no longer share her own? When you talk, does she barely engage, responding with short, disinterested answers? If her presence feels more like an obligation than a desire, she has already checked out. The Stoics valued emotional discipline, but they never mistook emotional detachment for strength. Indifference is not a sign of composure, it is a sign of disengagement. When she stops caring about the small things, how your day was, what excites you, what worries you, it's because she has emotionally distanced herself. A woman who loves and respects you does not treat your presence as background noise. She does not go through the motions, offering mechanical responses while her mind is elsewhere. She is engaged because she wants to be, not because she has to be. But when she becomes indifferent, it means something deeper. Her heart is no longer where her body is. Consider Seneca's wisdom. Withdraw not into yourself, but into wisdom. The Stoic man does not beg for love, nor does he cling to someone who is already left in spirit. He sees reality, accepts it, and acts accordingly. If she is emotionally distant, you have two choices. Address it and see if there is a way forward, or walk away with dignity. But what you must never do is ignore the signs and pretend nothing is happening. Indifference is not a phase. It is a decision. But emotional distance is not just about apathy. It often comes with something worse, disrespect. And a woman who disrespects you has already lost her sense of loyalty. Because once respect is gone, betrayal is never far behind. That's what we'll uncover next. 6. Displays contempt. Loyalty does not exist without respect. A woman who does not respect you cannot be loyal to you, because loyalty is a choice, and respect is the reason behind that choice. When respect disappears, loyalty is soon to follow. The Stoics understood that true strength lies in maintaining dignity, no matter the circumstances. Epictetus advised, "Know first who you are, and then adorn yourself accordingly." A man who understands his own worth will never tolerate repeated disrespect because he knows that allowing it is an insult to himself. So ask yourself, does she belittle you, mock you in front of others, or dismiss your thoughts as unimportant? Does she roll her eyes, scoff at your words, or treat your concerns as a joke? These may seem like small things, but they are not. They are signs of deeper disregard. Contempt does not appear overnight. It builds gradually in subtle gestures and cutting remarks, in the way she talks to you and about you. A woman who respects you will uplift you even in disagreement. But a woman who lacks respect will use sarcasm, insults, or dismissiveness to undermine you. And once contempt sets in, loyalty is already broken. Consider the story of Cato the Younger, a Roman statesman known for his unshakable principles. When Julius Caesar gained power, many of Cato's allies advised him to bow down, to compromise his beliefs for the sake of survival. But Cato refused because to tolerate disrespect for his principles would be to destroy them. He chose dignity over compromise, and so should you. A Stoic man does not beg for respect. He commands it by the way he carries himself, by what he allows, and by what he walks away from. If a woman continuously disrespects you, she has already made her choice. The only question is, will you make yours? But disrespect does not always come in words or gestures. Sometimes it appears in a far more dangerous form, disloyalty to your time and effort. If she does not value the investment you make in her, then she does not value the relationship itself, and that's what we'll uncover next. 7. Test boundaries. No betrayal happens all at once. It starts small: an ignored agreement, a subtle dismissal of your concerns, a minor act of disrespect. At first it seems insignificant, but over time, each small breach of trust is a test to see how much you'll tolerate, how far she can push, and how little she can get away with before you take a stand. The Stoics understood that character is revealed in the smallest actions. Seneca said, "He who does not prevent a crime when he can encourages it." The same applies to relationships. When you ignore repeated violations of your boundaries, you silently permit them. So how does a woman test boundaries? She might flirt with other men and call it harmless. She might hide conversations or dismiss questionable behavior as overthinking. She might disregard promises or commitments, always assuming you will let it slide. And when you confront her, she downplays it. shifts the blame, or makes you feel like you're the problem. The key here is pattern, not perfection. A single mistake does not define a person, but repeated boundary testing is intentional. A woman who values the relationship respects its limits. A woman who constantly tests them is looking for an escape. Consider the Spartan warriors. They were taught from childhood to respect discipline. But every battle, every mission had rules, and those who repeatedly disobeyed were not given second chances. They knew that one small act of negligence could cost an entire war. The same applies here. When you allow small breaches of trust, you risk losing the foundation of the entire relationship. A Stoic man does not waste energy trying to control others. He simply observes and acts accordingly. If she constantly tests boundaries, she is showing you her nature. And once someone shows you who they are, it is unwise to ignore it. But a woman who tests boundaries doesn't just challenge trust, she also challenges stability. And one of the biggest signs of disloyalty is a woman who creates unnecessary chaos and drama. Because where there is constant drama, there is no room for loyalty. And that's what we'll uncover next. 8. Avoids commitment. Commitment is not just about words, it is about action. A loyal woman does not hesitate to build a future with you, because she sees you as part of it. But when a woman consistently avoids conversations about the future, dismisses the idea of long-term commitment, or treats the relationship as something temporary, she is telling you something important. She is not fully in. The Stoics taught that hesitation is often a decision in disguise. Marcus Aurelius said, "A man's worth is measured by the things he pursues." If she truly values the relationship, she will naturally work toward its future. If she does not, then her actions will reveal it, not in one moment, but over time. So what are the signs? She avoids discussing long-term plans, dodging questions about the future. She reacts uncomfortably when you bring up deeper commitment. She prefers to keep things casual even after significant time has passed. She speaks about her future as if you are not a part of it. Many men ignore these signs, assuming she just needs more time. But the truth is, a person who truly values something does not hesitate to secure it. She doesn't need time to decide if she wants a future with you. She already knows. If she avoids commitment, she has likely already made up her mind. She's just waiting for the right moment to walk away. Consider the wisdom of Epictetus. First say to yourself what you would be, and then do what you have to do. A Stoic man does not waste time trying to convince someone to commit. He simply recognizes when a person is not aligned with his path, and he moves accordingly. But avoiding commitment is not just about hesitation. It often comes with something more dangerous, a pattern of secrecy. Because a woman who is not truly loyal will not only dodge the future, she will also hide parts of her present. And that's what we'll uncover next. 9. Frequent complaints. A relationship should be a source of mutual support, joy, and growth. Yet when a woman constantly complains about the relationship, it is not just about dissatisfaction. It is a sign of emotional detachment. She is no longer invested in nurturing what you share. Instead, she is searching for something else. The Stoics knew that the mind shapes reality. What you focus on grows. If a person constantly finds fault in their circumstances, it reveals more about their mindset than the situation itself. In relationships, this dissatisfaction is often a sign that the person is not aligned with the shared purpose, or worse, is actively seeking an exit. So consider, does she frequently criticize your behavior, your actions, or your values? Does she downplay the good things in the relationship and only highlight the flaws? Is she quick to blame you for issues that are beyond your control? This constant dissatisfaction is a red flag. It may seem like she's just venting or expressing her frustrations, but beneath those complaints lies a deeper detachment, a subtle erosion of trust and connection. She has already started looking for faults outside of herself, and this often signals that she has begun searching for something or someone better. The Stoic principle of focusing on what is within our control is crucial here. You cannot change someone else's dissatisfaction. If a woman is constantly complaining about the relationship, it is because she is no longer emotionally engaged. She is seeking to escape, and her complaints are the first step in that process. Remember the words of Marcus Aurelius, "The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts." If she cannot see the value in the relationship, or if her thoughts are consumed by dissatisfaction, it is not the relationship's fault, it is her mindset. And once that mindset has shifted, there is little that can be done to reverse it. But emotional detachment through complaints is only one form of disengagement. There are those who take a more passive approach. They stop showing effort altogether. When the effort is gone, so is the loyalty, and that's what we'll explore next. 10. Self-prioritization. A healthy relationship is built on balance, a shared commitment to each other's well-being and growth. But when a woman consistently prioritizes her own needs and desires above the relationship, it signals a deeper issue. She is treating the relationship as something optional, not as a mutual bond of support. In Stoic philosophy, there is a profound emphasis on the idea of moderation and balance. Epictetus famously said, "Freedom is the only worthy goal in life. It is won by disregarding things that lie beyond our control." A Stoic recognizes that for any relationship to thrive, both parties must contribute equally. When one person consistently prioritizes themselves at the expense of the other, it is a sign that the commitment is not shared equally. So how does this manifest? She makes plans without considering how they impact you or the relationship. She chooses her own needs over yours repeatedly, especially in moments when mutual support is needed. She expects you to be flexible to her demands, but when it's your turn to ask for support, she brushes it off. This behavior is a stark contrast to the Stoic ideal of self-control and responsibility within relationships. In a Stoic partnership, both individuals are expected to contribute to the emotional and physical well-being of the relationship. But when one person is consistently self-centered, the relationship suffers. The Stoics believe that true freedom comes when we transcend the need for external validation and instead focus on what we can control, our actions and our decisions. When a woman puts herself first all the time, she is neglecting her shared responsibility within the relationship, and this imbalance can create a sense of emotional disconnection. Think of a ship at sea. If one side of the ship is weighted down more heavily than the other, the ship will tilt and struggle to stay on course. Similarly, a relationship where one person's needs are constantly prioritized over the other's will never sail smoothly. Balance is key. Without it, the relationship will begin to drift apart. But selfishness in a relationship does not always show itself as outright prioritization. Sometimes it appears as a refusal to give, a reluctance to contribute emotionally. And when someone refuses to give emotionally, they are unwilling to invest in the relationship's future. And that's what we'll explore next. 11. Past betrayal. History has a way of repeating itself. And in relationships, this is especially true. Past behavior is the clearest indicator of future actions. If a woman has betrayed or been dishonest in previous relationships, the Stoic man knows that this is not an isolated incident, it is a pattern. And patterns cannot be ignored. The Stoics understood that human nature does not change easily. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "What we do now echoes in eternity. Our actions leave traces, and these traces form the patterns by which we are known." If a woman has betrayed trust before, it is unwise to ignore the likelihood that she could do it again. But why does betrayal often repeat? Because dishonesty is not about one mistake, it's a deeper flaw in character. Because someone who has broken trust in the past has not shown the ability to honor that trust consistently. Because those who repeatedly betray others are often more focused on self-interest than on mutual respect. A Stoic man knows that trust is a choice, but so is betrayal. If someone has shown dishonesty once, they have shown you who they are. And though people can change, the Stoic understands that true change requires consistent effort, not empty promises or excuses. This is where wisdom and experience come into play. The Stoic learns from patterns, not excuses. A person's history doesn't guarantee their future, but it does give significant insight into their character. When a woman has a history of betrayal or dishonesty, it is not unreasonable to question her ability to remain loyal in the future. Think of the ancient Greek concept of kairos, the right moment to act. The Stoic knows that when a person reveals their true nature, it is the right moment to make a decision. If she has betrayed trust before, don't ignore the signs. Instead, learn from the pattern and proceed with caution. Trust can be rebuilt, but it must come from the right person, someone whose past actions align with their words. As we've explored today, the signs of disloyalty can often be subtle, but they are never insignificant. The Stoic approach teaches us to observe, reflect, and act based on wisdom, not blind hope. Loyalty isn't a random act, it's built on a foundation of respect, consistency, and mutual commitment. When we fail to recognize the signs, We risk investing our time and energy into relationships that aren't truly aligned with our values. But here's the powerful truth. You are in control of the relationships you nurture. The Stoic way is about clear-sighted awareness and not settling for less than what you deserve. Your value doesn't diminish based on someone else's inability to commit or respect the bond you've worked to build. If you spot these signs of disloyalty, it's not a failure, it's a lesson. A lesson in understanding who truly aligns with your principles and who doesn't. Take this wisdom with you. Don't waste your energy on people who do not value your presence, your loyalty, or your respect. Relationships should enhance your life, not drain it. When you identify these patterns, trust yourself to make the right decisions and move forward with clarity and strength. Now, if you found value in this video, don't let it end here. Subscribe to our channel for more insights into Stoic philosophy and how it can transform your relationships and life. Hit the notification bell so you never miss another video that can help you master your mindset, your emotions, and your decisions. And don't forget to comment below. Have you experienced these signs of disloyalty? How did you handle it? Share your thoughts and let's continue this conversation. Remember, the Stoic truth is in your hands and it's time to take charge.